Have you ever caught yourself replaying the same worry over and over? Maybe it started as a single anxious thought, but before long, it grew into something that felt overwhelming, coloring your mood, your outlook, and even your daily life. These loops of negative thinking can happen to anyone, and when they do, they often feel exhausting and hard to break. What begins as a moment of worry can spiral into something far bigger. You might find yourself picturing the worst-case scenario, feeling like nothing will work out, or blaming yourself for things you can't really control. Over time, this constant stream of negative thinking can affect our mental health. It's making us feel anxious, stressed, or even depressed. It can drain our energy, cloud our judgment, and distance us from the good moments happening around us. But here's the hopeful part. Negative thought loops don't have to control us. By learning to recognize these patterns and gently challenge them, we can begin to step out of them. It's not about forcing ourselves to just think positive or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. Instead, it's about creating a more balanced, compassionate way of seeing ourselves and the world. In this video, we'll explore why negative thoughts can take hold so strongly, what common patterns to watch out for, and practical, everyday strategies to break free from them. By the end, you'll have a clearer sense of how to notice your thoughts, question them kindly, and find some space for hope and calm. Let's start with why these loops happen in the first place. Our brains are wired to keep us safe. To notice danger or problems quickly, this was useful for our ancestors who needed to stay alert to survive. But in today's world, this natural tendency can sometimes turn inward. Instead of spotting real, immediate danger, we start worrying about things that might go wrong in the future, or replaying past mistakes that we can't change. Over time, this can turn into rumination, a repetitive cycle where we dwell on the same issue, thought or worry again and again. Rumination can feel compelling because our minds are trying to solve the problem, but often there isn't an immediate solution. Instead of finding answers, we end up going around in circles, feeling more anxious or hopeless. So what do these negative thought patterns actually look like? They often follow common shapes. One of the most common is catastrophizing, imagining the worst possible outcome, even if it's unlikely. For example, you might think, if I make a mistake at work, I'll definitely get fired. Then I'll never find another job. Another is black and white thinking, where we see things as either a complete success or total failure, leaving no space for the middle ground where life often really is. Then there's overgeneralization, when we take a single negative event and use it to judge our whole life or character. One bad day becomes everything always goes wrong for me. We might also jump to conclusions or make unfounded assumptions, deciding that others must think badly of us without real evidence. Emotional reasoning is another pattern, where we assume that because something feels scary or hopeless, it must truly be so. Selective filtering happens when we notice only the negative details of a situation and ignore anything positive. Self-blame is another powerful loop, where we take responsibility for things outside our control. Finally, unrealistic expectations can trap us too. We set impossibly high standards for ourselves and feel crushed when we can't meet them. It's important to remember that everyone experiences these patterns sometimes. The first step to loosening their grip is simply to notice them. When you find yourself spiraling into worry or self-criticism, pause and ask, what am I telling myself right now? Does this thought fit one of these patterns? Awareness itself is a powerful tool. After you've recognized a negative thought, try to gently challenge it. This isn't about fighting your thoughts aggressively, but about questioning whether they're truly accurate or helpful. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence do I have? Could there be another way to see this situation? You might discover that what felt like an inevitable disaster is actually just one possibility among many, and often not the most likely one. It can also help to reflect on times you've faced difficulties before. Often we forget our own resilience. Think back to moments when things turned out better than you expected, or when you coped better than you thought you could. If it's hard to recall these moments on your own, you might ask friends or family to remind you. Remembering your strengths can help you feel more balanced and less stuck in fear. Another powerful strategy is to change how you speak to yourself. Many of us talk to ourselves in ways we'd never speak to someone we care about. We might say things like, "I always mess everything up," or "I'm just not good enough." Try to imagine what you'd say to a friend in the same situation. Chances are, you'd be kinder, more forgiving, and more encouraging. Bringing that same tone to your inner dialogue can help reduce shame and stress. For instance, instead of saying, "I can't handle this," you might tell yourself, "This is tough, but I'm doing my best, and it won't last forever." Instead of, "I always fail," you could say, "Sometimes things don't go as planned, but I'm learning and improving." This isn't about denying difficulties, but about balancing them with kindness and perspective. The people around us can influence our thinking too. Being around constant negativity can feed our own worries and doubts, while supportive, balanced people can help us feel calmer and more hopeful. Notice who in your life makes you feel uplifted, understood, or simply more at peace, and try to spend more time with them. Likewise, see if you can gently step back from people or environments that consistently bring you down. It's also worth thinking about the information you consume every day. News, social media, and entertainment can shape our mindset more than we realize. Constantly seeing alarming headlines, angry comments, or stories of disaster can deepen our own sense of fear or hopelessness. That doesn't mean ignoring real problems in the world, but it can help to be intentional. Choose content that's balanced, hopeful, or educational, and give yourself permission to take breaks when it feels overwhelming. Often, negative thought loops keep us stuck in the past or anxious about the future, pulling us away from what's happening right now. Mindfulness is one way to bring ourselves back to the present. This could be as simple as pausing to notice your breath, feeling your feet on the ground, or looking around and naming the colors you see. These small grounding moments remind us that right now, in this moment, we're okay. You might also try formal mindfulness practices, like meditation or mindful walking. Apps like Smiling Mind or Headspace can guide you through these exercises, but you don't need anything fancy. Even paying attention to how your food tastes or noticing the sensation of warm water while you wash your hands can be a form of mindfulness. Sometimes getting thoughts out of your head and onto paper can also help. Write down what's worrying you, and then look at those words from a little distance. You might see that some worries feel less scary once they're outside your mind. Some people even like to tear up the paper or drag the file to the trash as a symbolic act of letting go. If you have multiple worries crowding your mind, choose one to focus on first. Break it into smaller steps and think about what's actually within your control. Make a simple, realistic plan for the first step you could take. This helps shift your focus from endless worrying into gentle action. Setting aside a worry time can also help. Give yourself 10 or 15 minutes each day to fully feel and explore your worries. Outside that time, if a worry pops up, gently tell yourself, "I'll think about that during my worry time." This practice can stop worries from overwhelming every moment of your day. Finally, remember that you don't have to go through this alone. Sharing your thoughts with a trusted friend, family member, or mentor can bring relief and new perspective. Often, we find our thoughts feel less overwhelming when we speak them out loud. And if you notice that negative thinking is affecting your sleep, mood, or ability to enjoy life, reaching out to a mental health professional can help. Counselors, psychologists, and doctors are trained to support people through exactly these challenges. There's strength in asking for help. It means you care about your well-being and want to move forward. It doesn't mean weakness. It means courage and self-awareness. In the end, the goal isn't to stop all negative thoughts forever. That's not realistic, and it isn't necessary. Negative thoughts will come and go. They're part of being human. But by noticing them, questioning them, and responding with kindness, we can stop them from taking over our lives. Over time, we can build a more balanced, compassionate, and hopeful way of thinking. So next time you notice yourself in a negative thought loop, remember, pause, notice what's happening, challenge it gently, and offer yourself the kindness you'd give a friend. Focus on what's true right now, take small steps forward, and remember, you're not alone. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. Thank you for spending this time with me, and take care of yourself.